welcome to Outliers. I'm Molly Hawkins, and today I have Crispin Cannon on the line with me. He's a snowboarder, principal photographer for Ride Snowboards, at King Snow Publishing, husband and father soon to be. Crispin, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Stoked to be here.
Yeah, how are you? When's the baby coming?
Mid-May is the guess.
Very, very exciting. And can I get you to release some names on the air?
Nope, you can't. No, we're not telling anybody. We don't want anybody's opinion.
Not even mom and dad? Nobody knows?
Nobody knows. Not even mom and dad.
Well, congratulations. I can't wait to meet her.
Thank you. Yeah, me too.
So it's winding down your season. Are you still out shooting?
Yeah, every sunny day. Was out yesterday and the day before. Long days. The days are super long now. You know, the sun comes up early and goes down late,
So for folks who don't necessarily know how it goes in your shoes, I mean, is this a busy time for you, or is this where you get to finally take a breather, spend time with the family?
No, this is like crunch time, I guess. It's coming down to the end of the season. A lot of riders have a lot of pressure to kind of finish up their parts. And then same for me, it's a lot of pressure for me to get around with the last few riders and get the photos I need for Ride and for the magazine. So this is as busy as day one of the season.
Very cool.
So yeah, kind of like normally it slows down 1st of May, and by middle of May, usually I'd say the season is pretty done. But this year, because Priscilla's due mid-May, I'm trying to finish up everything by the end of April and be at home.
Man, so many questions for you. But before we get into those questions, I really want to unpack your story and share it with folks, because I feel so lucky to know you and have heard your story and so many other people's stories. And that's kind of why I'm here with Outliers, is to kind of take these little behind the curtain, stories that I've had access to and share them with other people in hopes that maybe inspires them or gives them an opportunity to look at this career pathway as a possibility for themselves. But, maybe you could tell folks a little bit about how you got into snowboard photography.
Cool, for sure. I grew up in Ontario, the kind of east part of Canada, where it's flat and not any mountains at all. But I had a big passion for snowboarding. And it was snowboarding before it was photography. The seed for photography was kind of planted in a high school course I took. We had the darkroom class and whatever, and it was pretty rad, but I was thinking about snowboarding. And then as soon as I was done high school, I moved to Banff, Alberta to snowboard just for fun. And I met some friends out there, and my friend Lyndon brought his camera when we would go build a jump or go snowboarding or whatever. He had like a Canon SLR camera, and he'd bring it. And I can't remember if I liked shooting photos more than those guys or if my photos were just better than theirs, but it always ended up being me with the camera. And so that was kind of the beginning. And then I got my own camera soon after that and didn't really take it seriously for a while. And I moved to Whistler and met some people here, and I started shooting photos for this snowboard club, Whistler Valley Snowboard Club. This guy, Rob Picard, invited me out with them and gave me a pass for the mountain, and I would shoot photos of the kids in the club and sell them to their parents. Mm-hmm. And then like Mikey Renz was a part of that club when he was younger, and there's a few guys that are around now that were part of that, kind of came up through that as kids. And then from there, I just started to meet more and more people and shoot more people, and I got a better camera and slowly started to get photos published. And it sure didn't happen overnight. It was just a long time of snowboarding and meeting people and more contacts. And there's probably like a good 7 years where snowboarding, I think, was more important to me than photography, like going snowboarding for myself. So I wasn't very successful at it. And and I would work hard in the summer at jobs to make enough money to not work too much in the winter, to snowboard and shoot when I could. And then over time, photography became more and more and more important, and snowboarding for myself became less and less important. And then there was kind of a moment where it was like, okay, I need this to work, or I need to go do something else. Like, there was this one season, at the end of the season, it was like, okay, I can't just keep doing this anymore. It's either this works and I get a job that pays the bills, or I'm going to go back to school. And that same week, I got a call from Future Snowboarding magazine. Doesn't exist anymore, but they were interested in hiring me as a photo editor to take over from Dano Pendergrass, who was leaving. And also at that same time, I won a photo contest with Red Bull, and the deal was you'd win a job with them. So all of a sudden, in that same week where I was like, hey, something's got to happen, or I'm got to do something else, I don't know, opportunities kind of just showed up. So I ended up taking the job at Future Snowboarding it was in San Diego. And I moved down there for, I don't know, it was a little over a year. It was photo editing for them. And it kind of I feel like that's when it all kind of came together, I guess.
So how long did you spend down there with Future?
It was just over a year, and it was 07, 08, and it was right at the very beginning of the financial crisis that started in the U.S. They shut down. They shut Future down. They had all these plans to make this big action sports, all these action sports magazines out of our office down there, and they realized that just wasn't going to be a possibility. So they dropped the whole thing. They're like they did Guitar World and Mac Life and Pregnancy Magazine, all these titles like that. So the action sports, they didn't really understand. They didn't really get it. And I don't think they really got how small our little world is. And the first thing that people stopped spending money on was advertising when things changed in 07, 08. So the first thing they did was magazines were struggling, and they pulled it. So they came in at 11 in the morning, and they said by 5 in the evening, hand in your computers, your key cards, and good luck. So we were all out on the curb.
So was that, I mean, clearly that wasn't the end of your career at that point. Is that the point in which you moved up, started working at Ride? How'd that go? Yeah,
that kind of felt like a bit of a beginning. That was pretty freeing. Then I moved back to Canada, moved back to Whistler, and that's when I got hired by Ride. And that winter, Ryan Stutt approached me. He had started King Shit magazine, which is a skateboard magazine, with Dave Carney, and they wanted to start a snowboard magazine. So he got in contact with me and asked me if I was interested. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And we kind of started building that from pretty much nothing.
So you had to have been at that point you thinking you're at the pinnacle of your career, but it doesn't stop there.
Yeah, no, that was like, at that moment it was, I really wanted to, I wasn't sure I wanted to do a magazine again. Like, I had just gotten out of doing Future, and it wasn't necessarily what I had pictured it to be, but Ryan was like, no, we can do whatever you want. There's nobody telling us what to do. There's nobody telling us how to do it. You just do what you want, how you want, and it'll be fun. So yeah, we started that, and it was super fun. It is still super fun. It's 5 seasons later, and we went from 2 issues a year to 4 issues a year. And in the meantime, my focus through the winter is shooting for Ride. So in the fall, I shoot their catalog. So I do all the studio product and all the lifestyles for the catalog. And then through the winter, I kind of chase the team one rider at a time. just getting all the photos they need for ad campaigns and all their marketing, in-shop materials, everything. And then come spring, I'm in front of the computer working on the magazine. So we produced a magazine from May until January, and then I'm out in the backcountry and in the streets through the winter.
So despite what a lot of people might think, your season does not end, when the snow starts melting.
No, it never ends anymore.
Which is a good problem to have.
No, it's awesome.
You're killing it. Yeah. Again, You guys, I have Crispin Cannon on the line here on Outliers with me. He's talking about his career as a pro snowboard photographer, as well a partner in King Snow magazine. But I guess now I just want to talk a little bit about what it's like to grow up along with snowboarding. When you look back, what do you look back at most fondly, having grown up with, the snowboard industry and your career kind of parallel with that?
I think it's the community of people, really. Like when I look back at all the friends I've made that are friends now, that's all been through snowboarding, and it's all based around this common bond and this kind of thing that a lot of people can't really pinpoint as to what it really is. For some people it's a sport, or it's a lifestyle, or it's whatever, but it's kind of been just a way of life. Like since high school, it's kind of shaped everything that I've done, and everything that I ever did was to position myself to go snowboarding. And all these people around me have done the same thing and have all gone, different directions and done different things, but it's this common community thing that it's really hard to pinpoint what it really is,
Yeah, I struggle with describing it too. I talk to people about it, and people in the industry or out of the industry, and it's your family. I think I can relate when you say that your every decision has been shaped around snowboarding since after you got out of high school. I feel the same way, and I know there's dozens of people, hundreds, thousands of people out there listening that feel the same way. So
yeah,
it's cool though to hear that now, because I feel like when I was younger, I felt like I was on an island.
Yeah, totally.
But okay, so a question that I'm excited to ask you about. But coming up, you were dating a pro snowboarder. What was that convenient for both of you guys? Was it difficult, challenging? Talk about that.
No, it was good. It was we didn't meet snowboarding or shooting, but it's because that community of people, like I was saying, we had a lot of common friends, and we ended up meeting. And then we worked really good together. Like we did shoot photos together after we got together, and it was really easy. I've shot some of the most creative snowboarding photos with Priscilla. I think we just really communicated well together and worked amazing together. It's hard to really articulate, but like she trusted me to give her direction, and she has pretty much the best natural style of any female snowboarder ever. So super photogenic. So together, it was awesome.
God, Crispin, you're living the dream. You're a pro photographer. You partner in this awesome magazine. There's nothing like it out there. You're a husband. You're gonna be a father soon. I mean, what's next? How can you top that?
I don't know. Life is good. No complaints.
Well, I guess last I'd like to close before I let you go. There's lots of kids out there coming up as budding photographers and, creatives, and, I'm sure they would look to you as a beacon. Is there anything that you could impart, any advice or knowledge that you would want to share with those gals out there?
Yeah. Work hard and have a really, really good time. Work harder than everybody else, but have a better time than everybody else at the same time. Like I'm not a natural at pretty well anything, but I'll go the extra mile and do whatever it takes to accomplish what I want to accomplish. So don't give up no matter what, and just do whatever it takes, and whatever step is available to you next, take that step and keep taking steps and keep taking steps in the direction of your goal. And don't give up. Just eventually you'll get there. If you want it bad enough, you'll get there no matter what.
Awesome. Inspiring words from the amazing Crispin Cannon. Thank you so much for coming on to Outliers. You are an inspiration, sir.
Thank you so much, Molly.
For more on Crispin and on his projects, you can visit outliersproject.com. Get out there, you guys.